Nan Madol. Nan Madol is an archaeological site adjacent to the eastern shore of the island of Pohnpei, now part of the Madolenihmw district of Pohnpei State in the Federated States of Micronesia in the western Pacific Ocean. Nan Madol was the capital of the Saudeleur Dynasty until about 1628. The city, constructed in a lagoon, consists of a series of small artificial islands linked by a network of canals. The site core with its stone walls encloses an area approximately 1.5 km long by 0.5 km wide, and it contains nearly 100 artificial islets, stone, and coral fill platforms bordered by tidal. The name Nan Madol means within the intervals and is a reference to the canals that crisscross the ruins. The original name was Soun Nan-leng, Reef of Heaven, according to Gene Ashby in his book Pohnpei, an Island Argosy. The ruined city is one of today's great archaeological enigmas and is sometimes called Atlantis, the eighth wonder of the world, or the Venice of the Pacific. History. Nan Madol was the ceremonial and political seat of the Saudeleur Dynasty, which united Pohnpei's estimated population of 25,000 people until about 1628. Set apart between the main island of Pohnpei and Temwin Island, it was a scene of human activity as early as the 1st or 2nd century AD. By the 8th or 9th century, islet construction had started, with construction of the distinctive megalithic architecture beginning 1180–1200 AD. Little can be verified about the megalithic construction. Pohnpeian tradition claims that the builders of the archaeological site on Kasri, likewise composed of huge stone buildings, migrated to Pohnpei, where they used their skills and experience to build the even more impressive Nan Madol complex. Radiocarbon dating indicates that Nan Madol predates Lela. Thus, it is more likely that Nan Madol influenced Lela. According to Pohnpeian legend, Nan Madol was constructed by twin sorcerers Alasipa and Alasopa from the mythical western Kato or Kanamweso. The brothers arrived in a large canoe seeking a place to build an altar so that they could worship Nanason Sapwa, the god of agriculture. After several false starts, the two brothers successfully built an altar off Temwin Island, where they performed their rituals. In legend, these brothers levitated the huge stones with the aid of a flying dragon. When Alasipa died of old age, Alasopa became the first Saudeleur. Alasopa married a local woman and sired 12 generations, producing 16 other Saudeleur rulers of the Dipolap Great Clan. The founders of the dynasty ruled kindly, though their successors placed ever-increasing demands on their subjects. Their reign ended with the invasion by Isoklekal, who also resided at Nan Madol, though his successors abandoned the site. Polish ethnographer and oceanographer John Stanisław Kubery made the first detailed description of Nan Madol in 1874. Purpose and features. The Elite Center was a special place of residence for the nobility and of mortuary activities presided over by priests. Its population almost certainly did not exceed 1,000 and may have been less than half that. Although many of the residents were chiefs, the majority were commoners. Nan Madol served, in part, as a way for the ruling Saudeleur chiefs to organize and control potential rivals by requiring them to live in the city rather than in their home districts, where their activities were difficult to monitor. Madol Pao, the mortuary sector, contains 58 islets in the northeastern area of Nan Madol. Most islets were once occupied by the dwellings of priests. Some islets served a special purpose: food preparation, canoe construction on Dapahu, and coconut oil preparation on Painering. High walls surrounding tombs are located on Penkital, Carrion, and Leminku, but the most prominent is the Royal Mortuary Islet of Nandalwas, where walls 5.5, 7.5, and 1825 ft high surround a central tomb enclosure within the main courtyard. This was built for the first Saudeleur. On Nan Madol, there is no fresh water or food. Water must be collected and food grown inland. During Saudeleur rule, Pohnpeians brought essential food and water by boat. The Saudeleur received food at a particular islet, first Painiot, and later the closer Yuuzhan Amwal. Around 1628, when Isoklekel overthrew the Saudeleurs and began the non-Morkie era. The non-Morkies lived at Nan Madol, but had to gather their own water and grow their own food. This is thought to have caused them eventually to abandon Nan Madol and move back to their own districts, although there are other explanations for the desertion of the complex, such as a sharp population decline. Archaeology. Today, Nan Madol forms an archaeological district covering more than 18 square kilometers, 6.9 sq mi, and includes the stone architecture built up on a coral reef flat along the shore of Temwin Island, several other artificial islets, and the adjacent Pohnpei main island coastline. The site core with its stone walls encloses an area approximately 1.5 by 0.5 kilometers, 0.93 by 0.31 mi, containing nearly 100 artificial islets, Soun Nan-leng. Carbon dating indicates that megalithic construction at Nan Madol began around AD 1180 when large basalt stones were taken from a volcanic plug on the opposite side of Pohnpei. The earliest settlement on Pohnpei was probably around 81, although radiocarbon dating shows human activity starting around 8200. In 1985, the ruins of Nan Madol were declared a National Historical Landmark. Until its closure in 2012, objects from the site were displayed at Ladorkini Museum. Lost continent theories. Nan Madol has been interpreted by some as the remains of one of the lost continents of Lemuria, or Mu. Nan Madol was one of the sites James Churchward identified as being part of the lost continent of Mu, starting in his 1926 book The Lost Continent of Mu, Motherland of Man. In his book Lost City of Stones 1978, writer Bill S. Ballinger theorizes that the city was built by Greek sailors c. 300 BC. David Hatcher Childress, author and publisher, speculates that Nan Madol is connected to the lost continent of Lemuria. The 1999 book The Coming Global Superstorm by Art Bell and Whitley Strieber, which predicts that global warming might produce sudden and catastrophic climatic effects, claims that the construction of Nan Madol, with exacting tolerances and extremely heavy basalt materials, necessitated a high degree of technical competency. Since no such society exists in the modern record, this society must have been destroyed by dramatic means. Popular culture. Television. Featured on Destination Truth, where these ruins are said to be haunted. Featured on Ancient Aliens Season 6 Episode 9, which focuses on its possible extraterrestrial origins. Featured as the main premise on Episode 2 of the National Geographic TV series Lost Cities with Albert Lynn. Literature. The ruins of Nan Madol were used as the setting for a Lost Race story by A. Merritt, The Moon Pool 1918, in which the islands are called Nantoch and the ruins are called the Nan Madol. Nan Madol and its history have been used as the basis of the novel Deep Fathom 2001, written by James Rowlands. In the comic Nameless by Grant Morrison and Chris Burnham, the city of Nan Madol is the location of the mythical dream Key of Nan Samuel. Music. Nan Madol 1974 is an album recorded by Edward Vesala. Nan Madol is a song recorded by Indira and released on their Liber Leviathan album 1996. Ruins of Nan Madol 2014 is a song recorded by Audio Machine